This
Supplier
conference
network.
will now be recorded.
Okay. Now you have the Ariba discovery here, and you have some others point in here. So this is a detailed course content which I have already shared. So you must be like you already aware of it. Now from the demo perspective, I just kept the major topics in here in a little presentation mode. Okay, just to present you like so that it is easy for to understand and to discuss on this one. Okay, but the detailed course content you always refer that. This is just from the perspective that we will be referring something which is for the only from the discussion point of view. Okay, now when we talk about here, so if I present here like in a presentation mode. Okay, yeah, now you see here this is SAP Ariba. Okay, so in a broader level, if we talk about SAP Ariba, so this is more, if you can say like it's a segregated in a manner that you can differentiate between upstream and the downstream. Now you will find like there in people in the market which are there in the market also like other trainers and all. So they might not explain these things in a very detailed manner, but from a logical perspective, if you are going for a certification and all, so people like these kind of questions come in there when what is the difference, how the segregation has been done. Okay, so if I give you the very first beginning, like what is this upstream and downstream segregation? The upstream, if you say in a technical language, we do not deal into any transactional documents in the upstream. When we call out a transactional document, what is the meaning of transactional documents is nothing but your PR, PO, GR, and invoice, because these are some legal documents. If you are going, like for example, a supplier and a buyer having a dispute, and if you want to have some legal procedure in there, then you can use those documents, transactional documents, as a proof. Whereas when you are working on an upstream perspective, you do not have anything legally bounded in there. So these are the some of the things that you will be also finding out when you are working on these things in the industry, in a real world. Okay. Now, another point is this one, that if you are working on this SAP Ariba module, so these are modules: sourcing, contract management, SLP. We have also covering the spend visibility. These are from the upstream perspective. Then you have the downstream side: procure to order, invoice management, procure to pay, catalog management, and these are some common. These are some common topics that is used across upstream and downstream. So I will be explaining them. Okay. Now, if you see in here, first of all, Ariba provides a little bit, you can say, a flexibility to the customer, that you can buy any of the module. It's not dependent. Like it's not like that way that if you buy only the sourcing, you cannot use, like you will not you will be having some issues with using the sourcing only. Or if you buy only contract management, you cannot use it alone. You can use all these modules alone also. The way I have segregated, you can use that way. Okay, there's no dependency like complete dependency, because just what you need to do is you need to maintain some extra data in the Ariba system, that's all. But it's not like that you can not use like sourcing module without your contract management, or you cannot use your invoice management without your procure to pay or catalog management, like that. Okay, so this is kind of a flexibility is there. So if you find in the market, you will see that a lot of people are there in the market, they have worked like for like 5 years, 7 years, but they have not been through the complete cycle or the complete all the upstream and downstream modules. So what we call it upstream and downstream is suit integrated. This is the word we use into the Ariba language: suit integrated. If you have the upstream and downstream both modules are there in your company, like you are using it, we call them the suit integrated. Okay, so you will find that in the market people are worked on P2P or invoice management for like 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. They never seen the upstream part. Or people has worked on the upstream sourcing, contract management, and all, but they never seen the downstream part. So that is the benefit that we will be providing in our training, that we will be covering up from all the aspects of upstream modules and the downstream module. The training the training will be provided from the two perspective. If you go into the market, the jobs are also from that perspective. One, you will find that as an end user, you will be looking as an end user, like you are a complete fresher. Definitely you will be looking into the market for Ariba jobs, right? In that scenario, what will happen is you will be joining as a team member. or if you are an experienced but you not worked much on Ariba, it is always recommended to first work as an end user so that you know how the system works. End user's job is to like creating of a sourcing project, creating of a contract workspace, creating of the supplies in the system, creating of the purchase requisition, purchase order. These are the some basic examples of the people who are working as an end user in Ariba environment. Okay, this is one kind of a job you will find in the market, because people ask like whether along with the supply chain you do you know Ariba. So this way, this is what they expect. Okay, so we will be covering up that in our training. I will be showing you that how to create all these things, because this will be a completely workshop. It will not be a theoretical training. Okay, like if I show you here, this is the tool. Sorry, just a second guys. So this is the tool, SAP Ariba tool, which I will be like performing. Everything will be performed on this one. So as I mentioned, right, this will be a workshop training. It's not a like you can say like a what you can say a theoretical training. I will be just explaining things something. I will be showing you each and everything in on this platform, creating the PR, PO, sourcing projects, and all those things will be shown in here. Data load and everything will be shown on this platform. Okay, so this is how it will works. Now coming back to our PPT. Now, let me put it again in the. Now, here, if you see this, okay, the one part that I was telling is like end user job. Okay, another job is comes is like if you've seen that like the big fours and all those people are looking for the consultants. That is job is nothing but it's a implementation job. Please do not get confused between the integration and implementation. I'm quite frank, like I've seen it, like see I have lot of other institutes like I'm teaching and seen like other institutes, they are not giving you the exact differentiation in that, they mix it up. Okay, implementation is related to that, where you will be implementing SAP Ariba only in the system. You are not going to integrate it with any ERP system. That is the difference. Integration, you need to involve another system, that is any ERP system, could be any like HANA, Oracle, PeopleSoft, anything. Whereas from this perspective, it will be from a if I say like it will be from a from the from system perspective. Okay, so this is the difference between the integration and all. Like let me show you this one also. This is, if you see, this is the basic architecture diagram. So here if I tell you here, this is the our Ariba modules. You look into here, these are for Ariba sourcing, contract management. This is our downstream side. Okay, so this is Ariba, which is we are going to cover in our training. Okay, and then if you see this, this is middleware and this is your HANA system. Okay, so this is integration. So when you are talking about something more on an integration perspective, then this is something different. People do not explain this thing very clearly in most of the things I've seen at, but this is how it works. So this is the difference between implementation and integration. So integration involves the setup of this one also, which requires middleware also, which requires the team from the ERP side, ABAPers, developers, those people, those expert needs to be there in your team. And the one which is you will be handling is your SAP Ariba part. Okay, so this is how the things works when you are talking about a integration platform. Okay, so you guys can ask question, like there's no hesitation in this one, like this is a demo session, so if you have any questions, queries in between, you can stop me and you can ask. Always feel free to ask questions. You can stop me in between. Okay, do not wait for me to end something or complete something. Okay, now
Hello.
yes please.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just have one
No problem.
basic question. Yeah.
Yes
Like,
please.
what is the role of implementation consultants? Like, what exactly they do?
Yes. Yes,
Hmm.
I'm just coming on that one. Yeah, let me explain that.
Okay.
So, as the end user, I have told you, like you will be just working it. So, someone has already set up. If I taken a very simple example, if I set up, taken a simple example, like you bought a new laptop, right? Sorry. Now, once you bought a new laptop, you need to do like, for example, the laptop is completely blank. Like there's no Windows, you got the CD or you need to have the license and all. You need to implement, like you need to install that license. You need to install all the softwares. You need to install your applications like Adobe, Excel, Word, Microsoft Office, and all those things, right? These all setup that you are doing in the system so that the end user can use it, like the person who can use the laptop, is known as implementation. Same way in SAP Ariba, the job of the implementation person is to set up the system. When I say the setup means setting up the templates. You can see here in my here how to create template. Here I mentioned, right, template. You can see the template. You can see the template. Upstream side, the 60 to 70% of the job of an implementation team is to set up the templates, because everything will be driven based on the template in the upstream module. For all the upstream module, it's common. Okay, so if you know how to set up a template, that is a job of completely implementation guy. In this template, you will be setting up the rules, you will be setting up the approval flow, you will be setting up the RFI RFP questionnaires, you will be setting up the auction questionnaires, everything, rules setup, everything you will be doing at the template level. Okay, so that is a job of an implementation partner. They need to set
Okay.
up these things, and the end user will be using them. They will not be able to change anything from the template perspective because the access will be restricted. So you can see this, I have mentioned here, like approval flow, templates in here, the templates again in here in the template. Approval flow and the template section will be covered at this level in the upstream side.
Okay.
Okay, so this is that segregation. So you need to set up the system so that the end users will be able to use it. So if you find, like in the most of the time, what happens is in the industry, most of people are using SAP Ariba as a standalone, like they are not integrating it. Even if some big players in the market are there, they are not integrated, they are simply using it by implementing. Okay, so that is how people are using. So as I said, right, see, this is different customers have different setup of Ariba, but yes, from your perspective, the major thing is from the end user and the implementation. Now when I talk about the what will be covered in our training, as an end user, I will be showing you everything, like how to create an RFI, request for information, RFP, auction, reverse auction, how to conduct a forward auction, what is the difference between reverse and forward, how you will be performing. So the what happens is when you guys will be enrolling for the course, I will be adding you as a supplier. The very first will be the top of supplier lifecycle performance. We'll start with the SLP, so that for any procurement, what you need, the very simple thing, you need a buyer and you need a seller. You want to buy something, you need to have something like who is selling something, right? So very simple language, in a supply chain language, buyer and supplier, these are the two very basic pillars of any procurement process, right? So same way, if you want to buy something, you need to have a supplier. So therefore what will happen is, as a training, I will be adding you guys as a supplier in the like in the beginning, and then will be performing all those RFI, RFP and auction with you. So you will be participating, you will be having your credentials from a supplier perspective, you will be putting your bids and everything. So it will be a completely a workshop session where you need to participate. Okay, it will not be like you are just seeing here on my screen, you will be participating, you will be seeing those things, giving the hands on, so learning more in a better perspective. Now, so RFI, RFP auctions, reverse auction, forward auction, everything I will be showing you. How to create the templates, like the template creation, setting up of the system, approval flow, how you can change the templates and all those things, where the data is populating on a front UI user interface. All those things will be shown through the this create up a template perspective. Then the approval flow, like my manager should come into the approval flow, or the finance team should come into the approval flow, or this basis, like if the amount is there, the department is there, a lot of conditions or these things are there. Based on that, the approval flow should trigger into the system. So those things I will be showing you how to set up an approval flow in the Ariba system. Okay, now here if you see this, contract management, the next module is contract management. From the contract management perspective, I'm going to cover both the aspects. The contract management is little tricky because it's a mix of upstream and the downstream. So generally, like the contract terms part, we call it also a contract compliance, it's a downstream perspective. Okay, so these things needs to be clubbed together. If you see my this one, the detailed content, I have already segregated that one. Okay, I have already segregated that one. Okay, just a second. So here, if you see this, this is workspace, Ariba contract workspace upstream, where you will be learning like what is the hierarchies, master agreement, sub agreement, standalone. All those things will be there in the clause library, contract attributes. hands-on workshop. So these things will be there. And then you will be seeing here the contract terms downstream, the term creation, tiered based pricing, term based pricing, lease orders, and all. These are very important, especially when you are going for an interview from a implementation perspective. As a consultant, if you are going, you should be aware of these things. I'm telling you, like I do not want to say like that way, but most of the people generally avoid, like they do not explain these things in a very good manner or in a very detailed manner. But because these are little tricky, yes, this is not very simple to understand in a one go. But yes, at least you should be getting the overview here at least, so that in future when you are working on those things, so uh, you will be getting it more in a more better way. Okay, so I will be covering up in a quite detailed in this one. I will be showing you everything in the system, how these things works, how this will be taken care. So this is how the upstream and the downstream contract terms. So completed contract management, but in the contract management is little segregated like this way, work upstream part and the downstream part. Okay, so I will be covering up both. And the same, I will be covering up the templates here also for the upstream and downstream here, the templates, and everything will be covered in this one. Now, after that, the supplier lifecycle performance, SLP. We generally call it SLP in the short. So, what will be covered in the SLP? Like how you gonna create. The very first thing is you find out a supplier in the market. How you gonna onboard it? Onboard in the sense like how you gonna add him to the into the supplier in the portal, in your Ariba portal, buyer portal, right? So that thing will be performed via this SLP module. So register, request, registration, qualification, templates, all those things will be covered into the SLP. Okay. So onboarding of the process. So I will be adding you guys in here, so you will be able to access all those things and you can see these things. Then you have the spanned visibility. Spanned visibility is more on the reporting side. Like whatever the data you have created in the system, right? So you can fetch the reports, you can automate the reports. Every month, every 15 days, you need a particular report. How to make them automate, how to fetch the data. Like you have created particular 5 sourcing projects in last 5 months or 4 months. You want to extract the data of it. What are the on the based on the supplier, based on commodity, anything. So that you can do it from here. Okay. So this is from the upstream side that will be covered in the training. Any doubts? Anyone have any questions on a content perspective or something? Please.
Uh, Hi, what are the master data as part of an Ariba?
Yeah, master data is your company code, your purchasing or your plant, your users, all those things are the master data. So I will be showing you, because in Ariba we use CSV file format to load the data in Ariba. Okay, so when how to load that data, the company code, the cost center, GL, and all those things will be shown in the system, that how to load it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that is actually comes in the here. This is core admin and admin. If you see this core admin and admin, this is more on the data perspective. This is all about like setting up the system. So if you see in the like in the course content also I mentioned in here, this is in the core admin. If you see here, this is admin core admin, right? So here you can see this about initial data upload such as purchasing unit, data dictionary. So how to load the data, how to verify the data, everything will be covered in this one, from the site manager. So this is how we load the data in the Ariba system. Okay. So will be covered here. So this is core admin perspective. So these are common because like master data will be used across the Ariba module, all the modules. So that's why I kept it as a, these are all common, like something different and common topics. So that's why I kept it here.
One more question. Are you covering
Yes,
Ariba
please.
guided buying in this training?
Yeah, so basically, like it will be a brief of that one, because the complete system is not there with us. Like this is not even with anyone. If I say like, see, this is the best system I have currently in the market, but this system does not have Ariba in a fully guided buying in a fully manner. Okay, but yes, I will be covering up through the PPTs and some other areas, and I will be showing you that how the guided buying works, because
Yes.
guided buying is nothing but it's a top layer. Like you can say the user interface has been designed to the people who are not much tech savvy, like an HR team. Like in a company, if you are working on an HR team, right? So HR people do not know much on the procurement side. They simply say we need laptop, our candidate is joining, we need to provide him laptop. So guided buying is nothing but like a the way you are buying on a any e-commerce platform. Simply go into there, select the item and save it. But the backend, the data will be always coming fetching from this module. Okay, from the backend will be always this system. It's just a user interface which has been created by Ariba to for the people who are less experienced or not have much exposure from a procurement perspective. They do not know what is a GL, what is a WS, and all those things. So what happens is in the guided buying, if you select an item, all those data will get fetched up by the system automatically. Okay, so that is how the guided buying came into the picture. Same with the sourcing buying also came into the now recently, like a couple of years before Ariba has introduced sourcing. The same way guided buying for downstream, for upstream side, they have designed this sourcing buying. But in the back end, this is the same thing which you will be finding out. Okay,
Okay.
now,
Okay,
yeah,
one question here.
yes, please.
Yeah. So I have seen few JDs, and in those JDs, there are like points like adding the tiles in guided buying, adding the sourcing form, creating the sensing form, requisition form in the guided buying. So is this comes under implementation consultant or end user, adding tiles and those
No,
things?
no, adding tiles, all those things comes as an implementation partner. Right. So
Okay.
generally what happens is the tile, so these things, the tiles and all those things are a one time, generally a one time. Like very rarely you will be changing it much. Like initially, whatever the setup you are doing in there, that you will keep on following it. But yes, some of the times new requirements comes and also one or two times you will be setting up those things into the system. So that is not a very complicated thing, but yes, it is required. So you need to do it as an implementation partner. End user will not be doing that one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Now, so I hope like upstream part is clear from the course content perspective and what will be covered in the training and all. Any doubts you have, like please feel free to ask. Like this is a demo session, so no need to hesitate on any part. You can ask any question on that one. Okay. Now, coming to the second, that is downstream. So now, if you see the downstream perspective, so the very first thing is you understand like the other thing like from a supply chain perspective, we also have a one segregation on this one upstream and downstream is upstream is more of a sourcing, finding out some better supplier with a better pricing in the market who can provide us with a better delivery and all those things, right? Contract negotiating with the suppliers and all. So this is more of a job from a strategic point of view rather than when we talk about downstream it's more of a process. You already find out the supplier, you already find out the pricing, now you need to do the documentation job. Okay, documentation job, like you need to release the purchase order, you need to release the PR, you need to prepare the document like a day-to-day activity, right? So for example it's like a process perspective job, right? Like if you are first of all you want to buy a laptop, so you are first finding out which laptop to find, it's doing some research, market research and all, and once you finalize this one, what you need to do is just simply you need to go to the shop, pay the money, get the material and get the invoicing and maybe some warranty and all, got that way. So that is a process flow something. So same thing is there in the downstream. Once you have already finalized your supplier and everything, now you will be just releasing the PRPU for that supplier. He will be receiving the order, performing the GR, he will be delivering the material, he will be submitting the invoice and he will be paying. That is your downstream perspective. Now, here, please pay attention, understand this very carefully because this is a little tricky to understand because people generally have a confusion over it. Like, if you see here, this is procure to order. I'm sure like generally not everyone tells you this one. Okay. P2O is a process of of your procure to pay complete process. You must be heard of procure to pay in the market, right? But what is P2O? So some company they generally use only the purchase procure to order system of Ariba. They do not go for invoicing. Okay, what happens is like if you are using this PR to PO process, you will be creating your PR and PO in Ariba system, and then this PO get copied into any ERP system if your system is integrated. So in that case, what will happen is company will be following the next procedure on the this side, on the ERP side. They will be only performing this process in the Ariba side. Now you will say like why they are doing it, why they just want to create a PRPO in the Ariba and rest of the things in the ERP or some other system, right? So this is where the requirement generates. Like if you think from a company perspective, like if you're working as a consultant, you will be going for some technical calls or you are going for the demo sessions or you will be going for them to explain what is all Ariba is all about, right? So they will ask, why should we buy this? And why should we buy which module? How you explain them? Like they say, I don't know which module to buy. I want to buy Ariba. People said to me, right? So how you explain them which model to buy and how to buy. So in that scenarios, you need to explain first of all the functionality, that this is the functionality of this module and all. And the second thing is you need to say like the client has to identify what is the issue, what is the pain area of their procurement process. Like for example, they say the people are not getting negotiating, the users, the buyers in your company is they are not good at negotiating with the suppliers. You are facing issue like people are just negotiating 1%, 2%, 5%, and they are releasing orders. So they are not good in negotiating with the supplier. Then for negotiating you need to use the sourcing, because in the sourcing we have these auctions, we have these RFPs. These are generally used for the negotiation. Okay, like the same way, if you find out the suppliers are sending a lot of invoices which are not correct, and you need to manually match and you need to do a lot of effort on the invoice correction, then simply go for this invoice management. Like this way you need to explain to the client. This happens when if you are going for a job perspective, from a consultant perspective, the consultant needs to take workshop initially. In the workshop they need to explain the client what is this Ariba, how it will benefit them and how they will be using it and all those aspects. So these things you need to explain from this perspective. Okay, so this is how the things will work on, and you need to identify. So this is generally we call it a fit gap analysis. From a project management perspective, we call it a fit gap analysis. Their process is having some gaps and we are going to fill it up or fit them with some Ariba related modules and Ariba processes. Okay, so this is how we do it. Now here you can see this is a PR to PO process. Then if you have any invoice related issues, then you will be using the invoice management. Just a second guys, sorry. Sorry guys. Okay, so here you will see this, like this is procure to order and invoice management. So invoice management, if you see this, like here, invoice reconciliation process, invoice exception handling, how to exceptions are coming in the system, how they are working on it, how you will be setting up the field part to target and all those things. So little technical things are there, like not exactly technical thing you need to know about, like how the system is behaving from a backend perspective. So that if you when you have this clear understanding on these things, you will be able to explain these things better to the customer or a client. Okay, so these are the things that you will be covered in the invoice. Then this is a complete process. This is called P2P, PR, PO, GR, invoice. So I will be showing you the complete process. You can see this one where you will be creating a PR, then the PO getting generated, the GR invoice and everything. These things will be covered in the training in a complete detailed manner. How you perform the GR, reverse GR, how you clearing the invoices, posting the invoice, how the exceptions generated and all. Those things will be done in this one. And then you have the approval flow design separate. So this approval flow is separate for upstream, this approval flow is separate for downstream. So this is little different, it is quite different from the upstream. So how you are going to set up this approval flow, how everything will work. So these things will be covered into the training also. Okay, so this is how these things will be covered. Apart from this one, I will be showing you the catalog management also, where like what are the file formats, CXML, CIF, BME cat and all, how you load the data, what are the validation rules when you are loading the data into the catalog, into the system, how you are working it, what are the image sizes, how the images will be catered in there and all, what is a punch out item, what is a normal catalog item, how you maintain these things in there, what is the symbol for the punch out, how the supplier controls the catalogs or how you controls the catalogs, and the catalog content. So all those things will be covered from a catalog management perspective as well as. Okay, so these are the things which you will be seeing from a downstream perspective. I will be sharing, like I will be explaining all these things in a very detailed manner for the downstream side. So you will be seeing it all in the system, everything will be shown in the system. Okay, and then you have this common things. First is your data related. This is core admin, and admin is more related to the data, just I explained, right? Loading all the data, all the mappings, all the information, we use Ariba's core admin and admin. Okay, so this is how I will be showing you how you maintain the data. Like if someone asks you, please create a user in the Ariba system, So yes, you can do it via UI, user interface, but yes, you need to sometimes load the data via files in the Ariba system. This will be your very first job. If you are going any implementation and anything, you need to load some data. Otherwise, how you will be testing something, how the system will working and all, you need to first have the basic data in the system. Okay, so these things will be done from there. Then I will be also covering up Ariba network from supplier perspective, like how the supplier will be working, how the supplier is submitting the invoices, how the supplier responding to an RFI, RFPs and all, what is the relationship, trading relationship, TRR, okay, all those things and the rules or the networking and all, everything will be covered in this one. We'll be also covering the CIG, the cloud integration gateway. The overview of that one will also be covered in this one, because see, CIG is a part which is like a middleware system. So as I explained earlier, right? So this is, if you see, this is the CIG. This is middleware. So it's not mandatory that it always be a CIG. It's a SAP system. That's why you are seeing here the CIG. But if you go into the market, based on the client to client, they can use different middleware system also. So in that perspective, the company needs to, or you need to have it, the different people from that technology, like iPaaS, like Dell Boomi. These are all middleware system. People like client can use anything. It's not bound to use only always CIG. So that is why these things keep on changing. But like from Ariba perspective, you will be covering up all these aspects which you need to confirm. So I will be showing you mapping also. I will be explaining how the mapping works in there. So those things I will be referring you and I will be showing you that. Then we have the last is a small topic of Ariba, which is another module, Ariba Discovery. This is more of a database related Ariba Discovery. From a supplier, from the Ariba side, Ariba has created their own like yellow pages and all. So similar way, Ariba has created its own portal, supplier database, like Ariba Discovery. We call it a Ariba Discovery. That will be covered in that training. So this is something from the downstream and the core, like common perspective. Anyone have any questions, any doubts? Please let me know.
Do you cover the SAP integration with Ariba? I mean, is there any configuration to be done in SAP to enable the Ariba system?
Yes. So basically, like, so in that case, you will not be doing anything like, so this is more of a service packs which comes from the Ariba will be providing you, okay, like service packs 9, and I think those things are coming in there. So within the SE16, you need to go there and you need to configure. So like, you will not be doing it. That's a job of your ABAPer or the developer. So as a Ariba consultant, you will not be doing that. That is the job from the ERP team. So, okay, let me explain this one. If you walking, okay, let me include a new slide. Just a second. So if I say here, one side is you have SAP Ariba, okay? Then you have here in the middleware system. So maybe we can say like CIG. For now, in the middleware system is a CIG for now. It could be anything. And you have any ERP. So ERP system. Okay. Now, so here you can see this. This is the job that you will be performing it. So when you are doing an integration, there are three teams involved. One is your, sorry, control side. One is your, why it is coming like, okay, and yeah. One is your Ariba consultant. So here you will be like Ariba consultant. Okay. Then you have somewhere here in the like middleware consultant. Okay. So middleware consultant. Then you have here like the last for ERP system is ABAPers and developers. These are the team. So these three teams works together when you are performing any integration things, right? So you will be doing this from your side. Middleware team will be doing the configuration here, and the ERP system will be taken care by the ABAPer or the developer team. This is how the segregation works. Ariba, you will never find anywhere in the world, and this is not expected that Ariba consultant will do all the three things. It is not even possible, right? So because for this one CIG middleware system, you need to have a good knowledge of IDOCs, because like if you take an example of HANA receives the data in a IDOC format, whereas Ariba understands the data in a CXML format, right? So these are the formats like CXML and IDOC, right? So you need to have the knowledge of these two also, how to configure, how to relate out to these things, right? So in that scenario, it will be like very hard to like have the, because ABAP and developers are already a separate, very big thing in the market, right? You already know, right? ERP people are there, web developers, they have their own lot of efforts to put on this one, right? Same way, Ariba is itself a very big thing in the where you need to work on it and learn a lot of things in there. Then middleware is always dependent on the whatever the middleware system you are using, iPaaS or you are using any other system. So could be anything. So those technology person should be there in this one. Okay, so this is how this configuration and the integration part works in. So your job is major from this perspective, and if you see this in the real world, there are a lot of complication happens because understand here, after this training, as I mentioned initially also, end user and the implementation team, you will be working in a team or you will be handling this one, right? So it will not happen like, see, I'll not give you any false hopes or something like after training you will be going there and you can individually lead any SAP Ariba projects. No, that will not gonna happen, very frankly. But what can happen is if you find out the people in the market who are having 1 or 2 or even 3 or 4 years of experience, but they never worked on all the modules. They even do not know what to look, when to look, and how to look into the system. For example, a person who has worked only on the downstream side in the whole life, like whole life in the sense like 3 4 years, okay, and if you ask him to create a template in the upstream side, he will not be able to do it, right? But that is what we are going to cover in here. So if you are going to the market and you are trying to find out some job either from upstream perspective, downstream perspective, or both, you can get that. And you can say like I have worked on it. So once you do the practice in here, so at least you will get an idea. If someone asks you, can you please create a if I say like, can you please create some questionnaires in the RFP template, so you know that you already know it because you have learned in here that how to create a template, and in the template where I need to go and where I can add the questionnaires. So the basic from like the companies expect from a 1 or 2 years experience guys, you will be getting that knowledge here. So you can see in a manner you can say like you can bluff 1 or couple of years. But yeah, if you say like I'm whole soul can handle all these things, no, that is not correct entirely. Okay. So this is how you will be able to perform in the like in the system or like when you are working in the market. Okay. Any doubts, any questions, anyone? I hope the content what we'll be covering on the training, this is, should be very clear because I see like a lot of people are not provide this very clear content they are going to cover in the system, and later on when because there are some restrictions from the system perspective too. Okay, so that's why I do not like want to hide something and I want to be very clear. Okay, because I will be providing the training, so like some of the things are restricted because it's a demo system, so you need to be have some restrictions like guided buying and these things are there, so there are some restrictions. But yes, this is the best tool in the market. If you go there, uh, hardly there will be anyone who can provide you unless until they are using their own tool. But I'm not seeing like any because SAP Ariba do not provide anything legal tool for practicing in the market. Okay, so this is how it is. Any questions, any doubts, anyone?
Jay, this is Shweb. I have a
Yes,
question.
yes, please.
Yeah, from CIG point of view, what all
Mhm.
are you going to teach or train us on?
Yeah, okay. So let me mention in here. So CIG, from a CIG perspective, if I say right, I will be showing you the, first of all, I will be showing you the basic connections. Sorry, what was that? Why it comes in here? Basic connections, okay, mapping, and I will be showing you that transaction tracker, the output jobs, okay, and apart from this one, so these are some major things like you will be finding out from this one. And in the in the mapping file only the major things is the from the mapping perspective, like where you will be setting up all those things into the system. So I will be explaining a little more on the mapping side. So these are the things that generally we do it. So these are the things will be shown from the CIG perspective.
Got it. And you're talking about CXML file. So will you be
Yes.
also kind of showing us how the CXML file is
Looks like, right? Yes,
created
yes.
or
So
mapped?
yeah.
Okay.
So CXML file I will be showing you, CSV file I will be showing you. So these are like file formats I will be showing you there, how you read it. Even I'll explain you how to read them, how to do that. But like see, once you see that, you will understand. Like these are little more experience requires, and you have to work more on those things to understand in a better manner. But I will be showing you all those things in the system. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, yeah, one question now, Jay. All right.
Yes, please. Yes,
Say,
please.
based on your experience, see, before continuing with the course, I need to clear certain things. All right.
Yes, please.
I need this to be clear because I'm not only investing money, I'm also investing my time, right? And
Yes.
my focus, my attention, everything, right? So what I wanted to know is, say, for example, a person like me, okay, I have about 12 years of experience now. Okay. So earlier I worked on SAP ECC, ERP, okay, beginning, and then I was part of implementation core team as well, and I
Okay.
have hands-on in SAP MM and ST modules, right? And over a
Okay.
period of time, uh, I am no more with SAP, but I am working as a consultant with a different product called Epicor. Uh, Now I want to move back to SAP, and I thought SAP Ariba would be a good fit considering the market trend.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
based on your thoughts and experience, how good or how volatile is the market for my experience, and what would be the approximate uh, packages that I can expect, assuming that I have kind of not really mastered. I have learned or grasped good amount of knowledge in SAP Ariba with the CIG.
Okay, so first of all, like see, as you have already 12 years of experience, so yes, learning SAP Ariba, so you can go as like you already have an ERP experience, so you can also include your SAP Ariba in here, and once you have both the experience, so it's always good. In the market, if you are going, like you will find like a lot of companies are looking the people who have both the knowledge, because what happens is most of the time the SAP is implementing this Ariba. SAP has already their ERP systems in most of the big organizations. So they always the company thinks in an added advantage if people know Ariba also and the ERP also. So that is one aspect. Okay. Second is from an experience perspective, like you will definitely try that, but you need to always present yourself as a major from the ERP side. Because if you present yourself as a major from the Ariba perspective, they will be expecting that you have a 12 years of experience and you worked on Ariba. They will think that you can lead the team, which is not the case.
Makes sense.
Because
True,
yes,
true.
after the training, as I said, right, I have mentioned initially also, after training you can be a part of the team, but you cannot lead a team because it's little quite complicated when you go on a, working on actual things, right? So each customer have different requirements, different setup, different configuration, so it gets little complicated, right? So after
Makes
completing one
sense.
or two projects, you can, yeah, that way. But yes, obviously, like you can present yourself as a major from the ERP perspective, then you can show like I have also worked on SAP Ariba. So this way the mixture can work in a better manner. And yes, in the market a lot of jobs are there, especially in the Indian market, as well as in the foreign market is also a lot of jobs are there. But yes, if I say from an India perspective, like a lot of people are looking from this because they do not expect only just one thing, like you are good in Ariba only, right? They expect that you should be good in ERP also, you should be good in the project from your experience perspective, I'm telling you, like you have 10 to 11, so
Mhm.
they think that you can lead the team also from Ariba perspective, you can lead the team from the ERP perspective, you will be doing the project related jobs also in the system. So those things happens, like I'm doing the same things. I have around 14 years, so I'm leading the team of SAP also, I'm leading the team of Ariba also, I'm dealing the project management, I'm dealing the stakeholders. So they expect from that. But yes, the core of your job will be the basic pillars like the SAP, ERP, and the Ariba, whatever the fields you are in good at it. So this is how it is there, and yes, in the market you can get this way.
Okay. Say, for example, my current CTC is around 17 or 18 LPA. So, do you think I can kind of get a, a good offer on this, or this is there is a
Yes,
limitation that?
no, no, you can get it. See, I say in India, Ariba
Mhm.
is like right now. I have seen like a lot of jobs. If you see in the market, right, a lot of jobs are there from the Ariba perspective, right? But the hurdle is only that the people are not experienced much. So that is why the company is hiring. But if you are an experienced professional and you have a good knowledge of SAP Ariba, people are going to pay you like quite good. Like I've seen the people having just 6 to 7 years in Ariba, they are getting more than 20-25 lakhs of package. So in that perspective, if you have Ariba's good knowledge, so you already have like a good experience and as well as ERP. So if you just get a better on this one, so it's easy. I'm not thinking like I'm not seeing any big hurdle in that one that you can get a better package on.
Okay. So after completing the course, let's assume we pretty much, practice or follow your training methods strictly, and we kind of adapt to it. And then
Right.
post that, how many years of experience in Ariba alone do you think I can portray in my CV? Again, it depends on the individual, but just wanted your, feedback on
Yeah.
that. I mean,
So
wanted
I
your
say like from 6 months to 2 years. This is what I say. Like if you are good in this one, you have already knowledge on this part. You can even put 2 years also. But you have little doubts and you are like struggling on the basic things on this one. You can put 6 months. I can say because you
okay,
can,
okay,
as I mentioned, right, because people in the market, if you compare, like see what happens is when you're going for an interview, people candidates
hmm,
being compared, like how much knowledge you have and how much knowledge the other person have. So if you see like people will be like a lot of people who are directly putting up there, even in the industry, if I say, right, even in the industry, every company has different department. Negotiation will be done by someone, contract management team is different, SLP supplier management team will be different, and procure to pay process team is different, right? So
hmm,
teams are different within the company, so it is very hard for the people to get the knowledge of all the modules. That is how I'm saying,
correct.
right? So from that perspective, if you are learning this thing, you will be having a very upper hand from a people who are already in the market with 2 to 3 years or 4 years of experience. So you can crack them easily, like you can say like I know these things also, rather than they will not be aware, they have not seen those things in the system. Or people has only worked as an end user for a longer period of time, they have not worked on the implementation side. So because we are
Okay,
covering up both the aspects, so it will always be an advantage.
okay. So let's assume if I want to put 8 years of ERP experience and then 4 years of Ariba experience, I definitely can, right?
You can write, but
Again,
like see, as I said, right, 4 years if you are putting up there, so people will be expecting that you know a better.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is only thing. See, the more expense you put, people will definitely expect that you know,
Expectations will be
or like,
more high, correct.
yeah,
That's true.
So that depends on how good you are on it. So if I say right, see, initially if possible, get something job or like get something where you can work as a team member
Mm-hmm.
once or twice for 1 or 2 small projects like 6 months and all. And once you have that knowledge, like once you start working on those things, we get a real industry experience on this Ariba. You can put like little bit more also. You can change that. There is no issue in that part.
Oh, okay. So in that case, do you think I need to compromise on my current salary, or do you think I can?
No,
I
no.
mean,
So no, there's no need for see, that's what I'm saying. See, you need to go more on a as, like your ERP perspective. You can go as an add-on
okay.
of supply chain. So
Mm-hmm.
SAP Ariba. So okay, so from that perspective you go and you can find it out. So this is all dependent on the situation and
Okay.
customer to customer and all those things, right? If
Correct.
someone is in the dire need, they can even hire you the little less expensive resources also. If someone is not in the very dire need, and also they do not go that. And also sometimes depend, like you need to handle the Ariba, but more of the things like you need to do majorly handle the team. So if you know the basic of SAP Ariba, it's also enough, because they are more looking you from a project perspective. Like you need to handle the team will like already 7 years, 6 years, or 8 years of experience people will be there under your team. So you need to just get them work. You already know
Okay.
the
So
basics, so at least you can, yeah. So this is different situation based on the requirement in the market, based on the client. So this is all situation based things you can say.
okay. Okay. Got it. So based on your experience, I am pretty sure that you would be at the hiring end as well, right? So, what kind of candidates do you face, and what is it that you see in them? I mean, do you really think that their experience is genuine, or do you think that they would have, pretty much done some courses and been attending interviews to get a good job and all that? So, what is your say on that, Jay?
Yeah, it's like, see, experienced people are, see, based on the requirement we hire them. Like if they are having a good experience, so we hire them, and based on that and what entry level we are looking for. We are looking for some beginners, so we'll take the less experienced people. If we are looking for like taking for some leads and all, so we hire the higher more experienced people. So this based on the same situation.
Okay, okay. Got it. Yeah, all right. I think I pretty much got the answers what I was looking for.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Anyone else having any doubts? Please raise your questions.
Hello, Jay, good
Yes,
morning.
yes. Good morning.
Actually, I'm fresher in SAP side. Is it good to enter in a Ariba or to learn or with respect to previous candidates thought he have a experience, but I'm fresher. Uh,
Mhm.
what can you suggest? Can I learn right now Ariba, and as a fresher, can I get a job in Ariba?
Absolutely, absolutely. See, for freshers, there are a lot of jobs in the market, frankly speaking. For freshers, like 1 year, 2 year of experience, like a lot of people are looking in the market. You need to be just having a good knowledge, little bit on the Ariba side, and there are a lot of jobs in the Indian market, especially in the Indian market. Okay, a lot of startups, lot of SAP Gold partners are looking for the people who are, because see what happens is like, see, in the team, lot of people are required to do the very basic jobs like this small jobs of maintaining the data, creating the file, creating the templates, creating this resources, training the trainers, training, providing the basic training to the end users, like how to create a PR, PO, and all those. Because see, when the company is buying Ariba, they do not know anything on it. They are first time using it. They do not even know how to switch on like the same way. Like if you are buying a PS4 or PSC right in a first time, you might don't know how to on, switch on, what to do, how to play all those things, right? The same happens for this one. So they are looking for a lot of people. So that is for
Okay.
sure. Like there are a lot of jobs for the freshers. So from that
Uh,
perspective, if you this one, you can portray yourself a little bit more experienced, and definitely you can get a good job.
Okay. Do you mean by as a fresher we can get job as a consultant or end user?
That is up to you. Like, see, that is like what type of profession you want to go, like which side you want to go. Market, in the market, both the options are there, I think, right? So, a lot of people are looking for end users and implementation. So, it's up to you where you want to go. If you are getting an implementation opportunity, go ahead. No need to worry about that one. You will also learn it there. And if you are going for if you are getting any job prospect from an end user perspective, go for that also. So, both the options, both the directions are open for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Jay.
Yes, hi Shivam.
Yeah. Yeah, currently, I'm working in completely into Ariba SLP, like creation of supplier registration and qualification. So, as you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, as an end user, I'm working currently. So,
Right.
I just wanted to know, like, what would be the implementation work in that? Like, what implementation
Yes.
work in SLP kind of thing?
Yes. So in the SLP, when you are going on the implementation side, right? So you need to have the knowledge of the ANID, vendor IDs, and all
Correct.
those things you need to, all those things you need to aware of. So that I will be explaining in our training. Apart from this one,
Hmm.
there's an SM admin where you will be setting up the some
Right.
automation, like when you ERP integrations happens, right? So how do you set up,
Okay.
like when the data needs to be pushed from a supplier, needs to be pushed at the ERP side, how it will be pushed? It will be pushed on a registration level or qualification level. It will be put automatic, or it will be a synchronized with the like manual synchronization is there. The data, when you are pushing data from the ERP or somewhere from there, right, how it will be pushed into the system, like how you can check the message IDs, UUIDs. If your system is blocked, if your supplier is blocked in the SLP, how you will be checking it there. All those lot of aspects are there that I will be explaining with the administration side, which is of integration and from the SLP side. So I will be showing you from in the system.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. And one more question.
Yes,
Like,
please.
are
Yes,
there
please.
any certifications, as in like in SAP we have global certifications, same as an in Ariba, or which all certifications we have?
Yes, we have six. Like, see, generally, like if you like you register for SAP Ariba directly on the SAP Ariba portal. So, like I
Mhm.
think they have some 525 US dollar is the fees. It comes somewhere around, I think, 40,000 or 50,000 for Indian currency, and you get six attempts. And the certifications are based on the modules, like procurement. There's a one module, sourcing. There's a one certification, contract management one certification, SLP one certification. That way, the certifications are there on the SAP Ariba portal.
Okay, so you mean to
Okay.
say for every stream like sourcing, then
Yeah,
contract, then
for every
SME,
module,
each and
you
having.
can say,
Okay, module.
yeah, every
Correct.
module.
Yeah.
Yes, module wise. So these
Right.
are like, so I
So
think in 45,000, you get six attempts. And in the six attempts, you have, so I have done like long time before I have done my certification. I do not I
okay.
remember the fees also, but like I think that is the fees. So that's how you can do that.
Okay. So after this training, I'll be able to give those tests, right, for certification.
See, I will prefer not to, because what happens is, see, when you are going for this certification, they ask you something theoretical more. Whereas
Okay.
the training that I'm providing directly on the system. Like you can get a job where the people will be asking you the realistic questions, scenario based questions, which you are doing in the market actually in the system. Okay.
Okay.
Whereas in the system, like when you are going for this, what you can say, like for a certification, the questions comes from more of a theoretical perspective. Like for example, they will ask you like in the contract management, what is the maximum file you can load it into that one in a one file space, right? That is a 10 MB. So that kind of a question.
Okay.
So those type of questions will be more on a system from a theoretical perspective, not from the work perspective. So I'll request, please have some work, like have a one or two projects. Wait for 6 months to have a work on actual environment where you have worked quite deeply into that one. Then if you go it will be better. I'm not saying like you cannot clear it right now also, like after this training you can, but the chances are more if you give little more time on a particular module to work on.
Okay. So
Okay.
are you going to provide any theoretical notes or those things?
Yes, I will be providing you the SAP Ariba standard handbooks. They are like some 400, 500 pages, and some other documents are also there with me. I will be providing you that one. You can always refer them. You can get a lot of information because they are very detailed in there. So you can read them and you can like definitely if you want to prepare for exam and all, so you can refer them. You can read them.
Okay. No, the thing I'm asking, the reason I'm asking is I'm looking to I in IJP in the same organization
Mm-hmm.
for this, but they need certifications.
Okay. So
So
no problem.
that's
So
the
like,
reason.
see, as I said, yes, you can go it. I will be sharing you the document. But yes, if you can get a little more practice on this one, it will be better. But as I said, see, I'm not saying that you cannot crack it, but the more probability will be there if you have a more experience on a particular module. Okay,
Okay.
that's how it is.
Sure. Thank
Okay. Okay, guys.
Uh,
Anyone else have any questions? So, any queries, any questions, please?
Hi Ajay. So would you perform the configurations on the training, right? So we can see the live configurations when you perform in the training, right?
Yes. Like the configurations is more related to the creation of the template, setting up the rules, setting up your approval flows, loading the data, master data, and everything I will be showing you here. You can see it
Okay.
exactly. So you can also do. So that is how I will be
Okay.
showing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. So like that's all from my side. Like and the batches can be started on weekdays, weekends, based on your requirement. You can reach out to the our box and you can let me know. And once you are ready, we can have it the training. You can start the batch. Okay.
you. Jay, what would be the duration for this?
Yeah, so duration is like somewhere we keep it like 30 hours or like little bit couple of hours up and down. So it's more of a course content. See, I am do not like very restrict to the time period like the other institutes do because I am more on a content perspective training. I'm going to cover each and every topic in here. If you need to repeat me something, I'll repeat it like multiple times. Okay, if you want to see something in a multiple time, I'm going to do that. I'll not say like, no, this is for like time is up, I'll not going to cover it. This is what generally the institutes and all those people do that. Okay, I am more concerned from the course content perspective. If you think like this request supply request is not clear, you want to make it one more request or you want to understand more on this one, I will cover this one. Okay, so this is how I'm going to cover, but yes, roughly around some 30 hours plus minus 2 3 hours 4 hours that takes on. So it's all discussion. If you want to like explain more like discussion like the way we are discussing, right, the same discussion happens in there because this is more on a scenario based situations. So you will say like this is how the project is coming, this is how you are creating a sourcing project, if you are creating for this line item, how you will be setting up the system. So these discussions happens during the training, during the workshop, right? So in that way, if you ask something for me, I'll be explaining in little detail. So it might take more time. If you are clear with that one, you have a good knowledge on that one, you are able to understand these things in a very fast time, then also good. So it will take less time. That's how it works. But yes, the main objective is for me is to cover each and every topic which I have mentioned in this one, the course category. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, guys. So for other informations, you can feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or like on this one, and let me know once you are okay with that. I think Krishna is also connected with you, so you can also connect with the Krishna and let us know your thoughts. And I hope like everyone joins. So it is like I'll request. So if you want, like, see, I'll say like in the market also you will be seeing like obviously anyone always compares the different things in the market and all, right? But there are a difference of teaching method. Now you can understand from that perspective also, like someone is like with a little year of experience and have more experience who's training from last 7 to 8 years, and someone is like starting new. So I see like a lot of new people are there, they are charging less, people go for them also. But understand the prospect, like when you are working, so like sometimes the fees is high because we are delivering something on a quality basis, not on quantity basis. Now we are not just completing something. I have spent a lot of years, so my experience comes in my training, right? So when I provide that, I provide a very detailed from that perspective. From a core supply chain perspective. I have worked from a very inception, like when Ariba was quite a very beginning in the Indian market, right? So that's how it happens. So yes, you might get lucrative with the pricing from some people who are putting very less and all. But yes, we deliver something. We might be a little bit overpriced, not too much, but yes, but we deliver and we commit what we are showing here, and we provide a very detailed and deep training on Ariba. That is the point I want to mention, so that you can consider that one rather than just going for something which is going or not going to explain you each and every. They just commit, but later on they might not be doing that one, or having less experience might not be able to clear your right doubts, because when you are going for an interview you need to be have very clear in each and every aspect, because if you give even a one wrong answer, people will think like this person does not know that part. So that is how it happens. So I just want to give you that overview and or like point out that point, so that you understand that perspective also. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's all from my side. If anyone have any questions, so please let me know, and feel free to reach out after class also, like after this demo. If you need anything, any doubts, any questions, so you can reach out to me via LinkedIn or via mobile or via email ID, and let me know any doubts, anyone have anything. And we hope everyone will join the coming batch. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you,
Thank
Ashok.
you,
Thank
Jay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Jay, any idea when the sessions will start? I mean, when the classes will start?
Yeah, yeah, you can reach out to me. Like you have my email ID, right? Ariba Tutor that one 2013, or like I'll just paste it in the chat. So you can reach out to me. I'll let you know. Like I will be mentioning that thing to the all the people also. And right, just a second. Ariba Tutor 13 at the rate. Yeah, I just pasted my email ID in the chat, so you can refer that one and you can reach out to me. And then even you have like connect with in Krishna with Krishna.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are just connecting with, we are in
Krishna,
connect with
okay.
Krishna. Yeah.
No problem, no problem. So like even Krishna, like you can discuss with Krishna or you want to discuss with me. So any no issues, that is fine. You can discuss with him also.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
fine, fine. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
good day. Bye.
yeah, bye bye.